The outpost at Carses 9 was never meant to be anything more than a salvage colony. Scattered engineers, miners, and ex-military type sent to strip what was left from a ruined war zone. Sergeant Malin Vorr had expected rust, rocks, and reports, nothing more. Then she arrived. The ship that dropped her off didn't linger. It hovered for 30 seconds, offloaded the sealed container, and burned skyward before anyone could ask why. Vorr had watched it with a deep frown from the command tower. Inside the reinforced cage was a beast. Tall, humanoid, with skin like black iron and twin ridges running down her spine. Her wrists were locked in plasma cuffs, and a shock collar blinked steadily at her throat. Her eyes glowed violet even in the daylight. The delivery file listed her as Subject 947A. Her species: unknown. Sentience: questionable. Behavior: unstable. Malin didn't like mysteries, especially not ones chained like feral wolves and dumped on his doorstep. But orders were orders. She was transferred to holding Cell 7 under heavy guard. The men called her the Beast. But Vorr noticed something on the third day: she never attacked unless provoked. She sat, still and alert, and watched everyone, especially him. Chapter 2. The Beast Has a Voice. It was late when Malin returned to Cell 7 after another long inspection run. The outpost had been having power fluctuations, and more than once, Vorr had suspected sabotage. Morale was low. Miners were seeing shadows in the rock canyons. The base was cracking. So why was he standing outside her cell? Something compelled him. A sense that the answer to their trouble wasn't buried in the mines, but locked behind this energy shield. He stepped forward. "Who are you?" For a moment, nothing. Then, her head tilted. Her lips moved. A low voice whispered in fluent common. "I'm called Ketheira." His spine stiffened. "You can speak." "I understand. I choose silence." "Why?" "Because you are not ready to hear." Malin returned the next night. Then the next. He didn't understand why. He justified it in the reports: monitoring for security risks, assessing psychological profile, potential threat or asset. But the truth was simpler: she intrigued him. Her presence was magnetic, her control unnatural. She never slept. Never blinked. Just watched, as if waiting. Chapter 3. Shadows in the Rock. Trouble finally exploded during week 6. A mining shaft collapsed, killing 2 workers. A second team was attacked by something moving under the sand. Vorr led a recon squad into the canyon and found nothing alive. Except for the marks, deep claw scratches in the stone, 3 times larger than any human hand. "What the hell made these?" one soldier whispered. Back at base, Vorr called a secure channel to command. The answer was chilling. 947A was bred to hunt them. "That's why we sent her. You're sitting on a dormant nest. If they're waking up, you need her more than ever." Chapter 4. Unchained. Malin stood before her cell again. This time, he came with no guards. "I know why they sent you now," he said quietly. Ketheira stood slowly. The collar blinked once and went dead. "Then you must let me free." He hesitated. "Can I trust you? I was born in fire to kill the things your kind can't face. But I'm not your pet." "No," he said. "You're something else." He released her. The station went into chaos the moment the alarms tripped. Sirens wailed as troops scrambled to respond to the unshackled beast. But by the time they found them, Vorr and Ketheira were standing in the center of a blooded perimeter, surrounded by 3 dead tunnel beasts. She had ripped them apart with speed and precision no soldier could match. From that day forward, she walked free. Chapter 5. The Guard Who Never Slept. Ketheira didn't ask for quarters. She didn't want a room. Instead, She made camp outside Malin's door. At first, it disturbed the others, this towering alien, kneeling with spear in hand, unmoving as a statue. But soon, her presence became a comfort. No creature, spy, or saboteur could get past her. Vorr asked her once why she chose to stay by him. "You see me as I am," she said simply. "Not as a beast. Not as a weapon. But as something more." She smiled then, for the first time. It made him forget for a moment that she wasn't human. "You saved us," he said. "I chose to protect you." Her eyes glowed gently. "The others are just part of your pack." They grew closer. Over months, they fought side by side against wave after wave of subterranean threats. The enemy grew bolder, and Vorr noticed the way Ketheira shielded him above all others. Chapter 6. Loyalty is earned. There came a night when the enemy breached the inner wall. Screams echoed across the outpost as creatures poured through the southern gate. Vorr was trapped under a collapsed tower, bleeding, his leg shattered. He knew he wouldn't last. But Ketheira found him. She tore through metal and fire, dragging his broken body through flames, shielding him with her own. She didn't stop until they reached the command medbay. Later, as he lay recovering, she never left his side. Not for 1 minute. Her bed was the floor. Her eyes, always watching the door. Every soldier in the outpost began calling her the Sentinel. But Vorr had a different name in his heart. Protector. Chapter 7. Beyond the Chains. When Vorr was discharged from service 6 months later, he expected command to order Ketheira into stasis or reassignment. She wasn't listed as a person under the Allied Species Charter. Technically, she was still a living weapon. He packed his bags with dread. The last thing he did was walk down to her quarters, no longer a cell, but her own space. "I'm leaving," he said. "They're pulling me out." She stood tall. "I will follow." "They won't let you." "I was not made to obey them. I made my choice when you removed my chains." He swallowed. "And what choice is that?" "To guard your life. And your bed. I am your shield." The look in her eyes wasn't just devotion, it was something deeper. And when she came with him, against orders, through the stars, across half a sector of space, no one stopped her. Because no one dared. Chapter 8. The One Who Stays. Years passed. War gave way to politics. Malin retired to a quiet outpost on the green moon of Terix. Peaceful. Remote. Safe. He never married. Because Ketheira was always there. She hunted. Cooked. Walked silently beside him under starlight. And every night, without fail, she sat by his door, spear across her lap. Until the night she didn't. He found her sitting beside the bed instead. "I no longer sense threat," she said. "This world is kind. Your people do not fear me now." "Then why are you here?" She tilted her head. "Because guarding your door is no longer enough." He looked into her eyes, no longer just fierce, but warm, knowing, protective in a way deeper than any bond forged by command or survival. He held out his hand. She took it. And that night, she did not guard his bed from outside. She guarded it from within. Not as a weapon. Not as a beast. But as the one who had chosen, freely, fully, and forever, to stand between him and the dark.